after that experience of knowing the truth, hearing it, feeling it within you, what was different about you?
For me, it was a little confrontational. I knew that that I had run into something I had never experienced before. I couldn't deny that. But it was confrontational to me because I had come from a really healthy, mentally healthy family. We were the cream of the crop, and I was used to being the cream of the crop. And then I meet a whole new crop that's in better shape than I am. So that was I had to, my ego had some trouble with that, and it was also Sid he wasn't playing around. And I thought, this man means what he says, and it was confrontational to a lot of my belief system.
Yeah.
My first experience, we were driving home from one of his talks back down to California, and it's like I'd been quiet for a long time, very uncharacteristic for me. It was just the two of us in the car.
I'm driving.
Yeah. And he says, Val, how are you doing over there?
She's so quiet.
I was quiet for a long time.
Something wrong?
Yeah, I'm sure it felt like there was something wrong. And I said, my gosh, I said, I've got so much going on over here. I said, I'm really kind of horrified. I have been thinking about something that happened to me 10 years ago. And I said, and it was something that I didn't like. It was disrespectful, unnecessary, selfish. Somebody had acted that way towards me. And to tell you the truth, I wasn't particularly used to that. And I didn't act that way myself. And so it was I don't have a lot of huge traumas in my life, but for me, this was a tough thing that happened to me. And I was thinking about it, and I noticed, I thought, well, I feel just as bad as when it happened. And I thought, when did it happen? I knew exactly. I thought, it happened 10 years ago. So I thought, here I am, 10 years out, thinking about what happened 10 years ago. And I'm feeling like it just happened to me. And I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't know that stuff was going on in my thinking. And he could tell I was kind of disturbed by the whole thing. And he said, well, Valda, he said, have you ever seen your thinking at this level? And I said, oh no. I said, I never have. I knew that was an easy answer. I just insightfully knew in a minute. Because just of the experience I was having about it. Mm. And so then I thought, he said, maybe it's a good thing. And I said, well, maybe this is a good thing. I don't know, I said, hey, maybe this has something to do with what that Sydney guy was talking about. And so then I kind of shifted from the content of the details of what had happened to me was now not the most interesting thing at hand. The more interesting thing at hand was, look what I've got going on in my thinking here. I'm a little bit disappointed in myself that I don't have better stuff than this going on. And I thought, okay, so what happens in my life here is that I can have thinking about all sorts of stuff. I don't really know I'm thinking it. I'll end up with the feeling. And I thought, well, and I thought about it, and I thought, well, have I ever thought this a different way, this particular memory? And it was just an immediate, oh, no, you haven't. You've thought it the same way every time. This was my sad story. The idea that I told this to a lot of people came to mind. I thought, oh, no, I've shared this. I've been sharing this for 10 years, too. Oh, yay me. and so,
not only have I been suffering from it, I've been spreading it around,
and so that was like, oh my gosh, I could just sort of in my ears hear my voice telling this story to other people, and they all were always on my side too. This was a surefire story to get some commiseration. And so then I thought, well, so I realized also when I'm looking at how thinking is working, I thought, this is repetitive. this has been circling back around for me for 10 years. I didn't want to think, I didn't want it to come to mind. It was a hurtful memory. And I thought, oh, so I really got a hit of, I do a lot of repetitive thinking. And that sort of kind of paraded itself in front of me. It's like, oh my gosh, I do a lot of repetitive thinking.
This is the tip of the iceberg here. Like,
well, little did I know at that point. And so then I thought, well, I thought, do I know, have I ever thought it another way? And the answer was no, I haven't. And then the next insightful question that came to me was, well, do you know another way to think about it? And I thought, well, maybe something will come to me. Well, nothing, it didn't. And I thought, okay, well, you never know. Sometimes an insight will be right there and pop into your mind right then and there. Didn't happen to happen this time. And I thought, okay, it didn't pop into my mind. And I thought, well, I guess then I don't see any other steps to take here or anything else to think about this. But then I thought, it was like, oh my gosh, what if it comes to mind again? And then I thought, and I haven't had an insight yet, what's going to happen? And I thought, oh, it would just, whatever's been happening for 10 years will happen. Live through that every time I've done it. I'll clearly survive it. And so I thought, but maybe some deeper thinking might come to me about this. So I ended up in a hopeful state of real, actually nice anticipation, sort of. And I just hadn't, I hadn't had an experience of looking at things this way, to where I was consciously looking for deeper understanding to help me with my own thinking. And so that was, and about 3 days later, the idea that fellow made a mistake came to be really, really clear. And actually the word compassion came to me. And it just kind of danced around for a while. And I didn't get it. And then I started realizing, oh, this is just, circling back around and around and around here. And I thought, compassion. And I thought, is this an answer to that thing I wanted to see deeper? And I thought, oh, I'm not the least bit interested in having compassion for this guy. I don't like this answer. I'd like another one, please. And so, but it just kept being there. And I literally kind of tried to consider compassion. And I thought, I don't see how I could have compassion for that. He was wrong. And then the idea that he made a mistake insightfully came to mind. And now that almost hit me in the chest. And I thought, oh, I make mistakes all the time. I don't mean to make any of them. But I've been doing it my whole life. As I've observed people, they do it. For the rest of them, you do it till you die. You make mistakes. That's why they're called mistakes. You don't mean to be doing them, but you do them. And it really impacted me. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've been judging and upset, hurt by a guy who just made a mistake. And I thought, well, that's a ridiculous response to somebody making a mistake. Me having all that judgment and talking so bad about him for years, and me feeling so bad about it. And I thought, well, that's not even a logical response to somebody making a mistake. And it just broke open this whole idea I had of, I obviously must have thought that I didn't make mistakes or something, and it was okay for me to be judgmental of other people who did. And it was like
hypocritical.
Yeah, it was very hypocritical. And I saw something that is with me today and has been with me all these years.
Really strong too.